With that, I'd like to pass the mic to Marjorie Davis, Associate Director at SERC.
Thank you, Alex. Hello, everyone. My name is Marjorie Davis, and as Alex mentioned, I'm the Associate Director at the State Education Resource Center. On behalf of the Connecticut State Department of Education and the State Education Resource Center, I'm pleased to welcome you to the public forum on the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund, known as ARP ESSER. This evening, you will hear welcoming remarks from Acting Commissioner Charlene Russell Tucker, followed by a brief overview of the ARP ESSER state plan from Tanya Budler, who manages the plan for the Connecticut State Department of Education. The remainder of the evening will be spent hearing from you, our stakeholders, for your input on the development of Connecticut's ARP ESSER plan. At this time, I would like to now introduce Acting Commissioner of Education, Charlene Russell Tucker, to provide you with welcoming remarks. Commissioner?
Thank you very much, Marjorie, and thank you to SERC for facilitating our time together. And good afternoon, early evening to everyone here, our families, students, our educators, and community members. As you've heard so aptly stated earlier, we're here today for a public forum to hear from you, to inform our state plan on, we'll now call it ARP ESSER, as you've heard it mentioned before. So as our education stakeholders from an array of backgrounds and sectors, your input is vital and valuable to us. And you'll hear again, as we speak about this, ARP ESSER is an opportunity to transform our schools, which will in turn transform the lives of our students. And we know when families are doing well, when they thrive, then communities thrive. And when our communities thrive, our state thrives. And that is good for all of us. So at the department, we're committed to continuing this two-way authentic dialogue as we craft our state plan to best support students' academic, social, emotional, and mental health needs, as well as the needs of our educators and our school community. So beyond today, which is the forum to get information directly from you to inform our planning, that we are devoted. It is stakeholder engagement, cross-sector collaboration is what I've spent my life committed to here at the department. And so you have my commitment on behalf of the agency that we're devoted to ongoing partnership with you to ensure that we're listening to our students, listening to our families, listening to our educators and our community members as we forge this path together. Our success is interrelated, they're interdependent, and that is not about what we can do individually, but what we can do collectively as a group to improve the life of our students here in Connecticut. So that's why your input is so critical. So I thank you for taking time out of your day. I know it's valuable, it's beautiful outside, you probably could be jogging, running, getting healthier, but you take the time to join us today so we can hear from you and to be informed as we go forward. So it will be about listening, and we appreciate you, value you, and your partnership. Thank you. I'll turn things over to Tanya.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. And with that, we'd like to show you a few slides and just give you a quick overview on what is ARP ESSER, besides a very long name. So again, you can see it here. We've said it a few times. And we'll just jump right in to give you a vision of what we hope to achieve together and where we've been getting to this point. So ESSER 1 was what we received at the beginning of the pandemic, and that was $111 million coming into the state of Connecticut. And the focus was survive. Can we help our schools survive this global pandemic, closing the digital divide, getting our students back to learning? Then ESSER 2, another round of funding, became an opportunity to help our students thrive. And as you can see, it's a significant, bigger chunk of money coming from the federal government. But here we are in this truly once in a lifetime opportunity where, based on Title I funding, we've been given $1.1 billion to help transform education and transform students' lives, as the commissioner just said. This is an incredibly unique opportunity to take the great work and to amplify it and to expand it. So that is what we're here today, is to talk about how we can use your ideas and experiences to really shape that $1.1 billion into something that does transform. So if we go to the next slide. We just want to show you what it actually breaks down to. We at the State Department really believe that if we're going to transform, we need to commit to equity. And this is a requirement of ARP ESSER and is also a commitment of every single person in the agency. We believe it's our collective responsibility to have an equity-focused lens. And above all else, COVID-19 has disproportionately affected so many of our students, so many of our families and our communities, and many of you represent them. So please share all of your opinions and ideas because we can't do this and maintain our commitment without your help. On the next slide, you'll see how the 1.1 is actually broken down. So we're required to give 90% of it to the LEAs, which are the districts. So $995 million of the ARP ESSER funding is going straight to our school districts. But there's 10% that stays with us in the State Department, and we're required to spend it on learning loss, summer enrichment, and after-school programs. When you're in your breakout rooms, there's going to be opportunities to share your feedback and ideas about the state set aside, as well as opportunities of ways that as a State Department, we can support districts. So we just ask that you think about the two pockets and the two ways that you can get feedback and input, because a lot of the money is in the hands of your community, but we also have a chance to do something at the state level as well. And going on to the next one, just focusing on what is the purpose and why are we all here. And as everyone has said, we are so deeply grateful that you have joined us, because this is a Herculean task that can only be done when we all work together and we hear each other's thoughts. We're looking for 5 areas of feedback in particular. So the federal government gave us a very thorough outline that we need to report back on for the state plan. And these are the 5 sections that we're hoping to get your input on today. Describing the state's current status and needs, safely reopening schools and sustaining their safe operations, maximizing state level funds to support students, supporting LEAs and planning for and meeting students' needs, and finally, supporting the educator workforce. You might have seen online this document that we have that walks you through what we're already doing, as well as some guiding questions. If you've seen that, please feel free to jump in and contribute in real time. But if not, then we also have the great folks at SERC that are going to walk through and sort of catch everyone up to speed into this conversation. We're really hoping that from today's conversation and tomorrow mornings, we're going to discover new and innovative ideas. We don't have it all figured out, which is why we want to hear from you so that we can make sure that it is the best solution for our communities and our students. And finally, this isn't the end of the discussion. As the commissioner just said, this is a two-way conversation and will continue on for a very long time. So please feel free to continue to give feedback through that web address there, sde.arpesser@ct.gov. We are welcoming any feedback you have all the way through the 24th of May. And we'll of course have more follow-ups into the summer and into next year. And with that, I will actually turn it back to the wonderful team at SERC so that we can start to hear from you. We are so deeply grateful that you've joined us, and we really look forward to hearing your input.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Now, the next 90 minutes or so will be spent hearing from you all so that your voice can be heard for input into the development of the ARP ESSER plan. Shortly, we'll be going into breakout rooms, which will be facilitated to provide guidance and direction so that multiple perspectives are valued and respected. My colleague, Alex Balzano, will guide us through the transition. Alex?
Thanks, Marjorie. Yeah, so in a few minutes, in just a couple minutes actually, I'll be sending most everyone into 3 different breakout rooms, and some will stay in this main space. So I'll begin doing that now. Please bear with us. It's going to take a couple of minutes.